Hey, sad eyes, hey, you who need some sunshine. All you gotta do is open up the blinds. Hey, worry, hey, heartache, help is not that far away, yeah. Just open up your eyes. He'll be there every time. When you're all out of heart and out of hope, and you don't really know which way to go, come on, run to Jesus. If you're lost and you don't know where to start, it don't really matter where you are. Come on, yeah. Run to Jesus. Run to Jesus. You know that your story starts and ends with mercy, and it's waiting in his arms. 'Cause he knows what you're feeling, so don't just stop believing. He's got you right where you belong. So when you're all out of heart and out of hope, and you don't really know which way to go, come on, run to Jesus. If you're lost and you don't know where to start, it don't really matter where you are. Come on, yeah. Run to Jesus. Run to Jesus.
Jesus is proposing to his bride. As in the custom of the Jewish wedding, a contract or proposal is performed before the day of the wedding. The Jewish boy would travel to the house of the bride, her father's house. Jesus paralleled this when he left heaven to come to earth. Jesus pledged his love to us. Then a gift is given. It's important to note that the Last Supper was on Nisan 13, and Jesus proposed. The next day, Nisan 14, the lamb was sacrificed. Jesus' sacrifice, his death and resurrection was our gift as he gave his Holy Spirit to comfort, guide, and prepare us for the next 2,000 years before his return. The bread that was broken was leavened bread. Leaven is symbolic of the bride. As the two are pledged to each other, they share a cup of wine. They are now married, but only by pledge. Covenant is made. Jesus said his church was to do this ritual in remembrance of him. It could be done many times in the year when we gather in his name. After the Last Supper, Jesus and his disciples left to go to the Garden of Gethsemane. Many people state that the Last Supper is part of the Passover meal that is in memory of the angel of death passing over the Hebrew families with the lamb's blood on the doorposts. However, the Passover is performed only once a year. Jesus told his disciples to do this in remembrance of me when we gather in his name. This could be many times a year. And in preparation for their flight out of Egypt, the Israelites made unleavened bread. On Passover, you are not to leave your dwelling. But after the Last Supper, Jesus and his disciples left to go to the Garden of Gethsemane. The story of Boaz and Ruth is a beautifully symbolic representation of Jesus and his bride. Some believe that Boaz's and Ruth's mourning betrothal, when Boaz publicly declared his intent to take the Gentile maid as his wife, occurred on or around Pentecost, seeing that the Jewish wedding traditionally occurs in stages. A betrothal or proposal would be followed by consummation months or years later. A betrothal on or around Pentecost would make late summer, early fall, about 3 months afterward, an ideal time for the pair to consummate the marriage and start living together. Ruth lived with her mother-in-law Naomi until after the wheat harvest, when all the harvest duties would be complete. Duties such as wheat measurement, wheat portioned out, payments, tithes, and so on. Ruth and Boaz's wedding, occurring in the 6th month, the month of Elul, August-September, harmonizes typologically with the wedding to the church's 6,000 years, and it may explain in part the significance of the 6 measures of barley Boaz gave to Ruth when she visited the threshing floor. Ruth 3 verse 15. What is very interesting is that Boaz was 80 years old and Ruth was 40 years old when they were married. Add 80 plus 40 equals 120. The number of jubilees in a 6,000-year period is 120. Remember, there was 120 people in the upper room at Pentecost. All clues and connections to the timing of the escape of the bride to be married to her beloved.